Welcome to my basement, everybody. Hello, Scott Jones.
Hello, Victor Lucas, and welcome to episode 50B. 50A was the first part. That was our interview with the Naughty Dog Boys.
Which was amazing. One of the best shows we've ever done, I think.
But you know what? After 50 episodes, we decided to over-deliver, which is what we try to do week in and week out on all of our TV shows, our suite of options, our suite of entertainment options that we offer to people here. So we're giving you not one, but two podcasts.
Ding, 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 ding. That's our mantra, over-deliver.
Over-deliver, always over-deliver.
Which is, I think, the mantra of The Man of Steel. I think they wanted to over-deliver with this movie.
It was Michael Jordan's mantra, too.
Was it?
With
Over-deliver?
The Bulls, and he put together his string of 15 championship rings.
Oh, I love that man. I miss him so much.
I don't know
how
many he put. I don't think it was 15.
I don't know. He was amazing. He was the true Man of Steel. But we decided that we were going to devote this podcast, like we did to The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, let's tell the truth, though.
Directly to the Man of Steel.
Yeah, but this is our second time doing this.
Yeah,
we practically screamed ourselves hoarse doing this the first time. Yeah, there was no record of it anywhere.
Yeah, we pressed record and it didn't record because we were a bunch of fuck-ups.
We are such assholes.
But we're doing it again.
And we both looked at each other when we realized that we didn't get it
Maybe
recorded.
It was meant to be. Maybe we weren't supposed to be so caustic on the air.
I thought that too.
Maybe we'll leave that with people's imagination about how angry we got at each other. But you were really, really wrong about your opinion of Man of Steel.
Why are you already... You know what? I've got my shoes off here because you're like Neo entering my dojo, and I am Morpheus. And all I can say to you, Victor Lucas,
come on.
You think that's air you're breathing?
Dude, this movie was a ton of fun.
Oh,
and
fuck
you
off.
have got to
I can't
reevaluate.
even get it up to argue with you about
have
this.
to reevaluate.
No, you know what? It's fun
what
for
fun
you.
Means. No, it was fun.
It's fun for you because you love this shit.
I do love this shit. I love superheroes.
This shit.
I love it.
In fact, you love it so much that you're blinded by the fact that Zack Snyder made a shitty movie.
You're wrong. I hated Green Lantern. And the more I saw
but you liked
and
it
thought
when you walked out of there and you gave it like a 7 or a 7.5.
I was...
you only gave this an 8.
Yeah, I did. I've seen it twice.
Close to your Green Lantern
so
score.
I would have been a little bit more charitable, a little more positive, a little more hyped if I didn't see it again, because I saw it the first night at E3 at an early screening in Los Angeles, and it was a capper to an incredible day, as I talked about not too long ago.
Did you sit next to any celebrities?
Just awesome people from WB Games who took me to the screening.
That means no celebrities.
No. But after witnessing this extraordinary spectacle one more time...
You need to see every movie on the show twice.
Shut up!
Yes.
So do you.
That's the new policy.
And you should go with your happy pills in you or something, your medication. You should go.
You know what I did? I went to see this with an 8-year-old boy.
All right.
Now, who could be more captivated by Superman, the origin story, than an 8-year-old boy?
Yeah, but you had a fucking problem with your screening. That's going to turn anything into shit.
No, we had a problem with the 3/4 part.
Yeah, that's the climax of the film, the amazing special effects.
Already checked out long before we got to this projector shitting out.
That's unbelievable. Of course it's going to deflate your fun, man.
I don't want to show this shitty movie anymore.
No.
I'm going dark.
No, come on.
This actually happened. I saw the movie at the Silver City, the Metroplex.
Okay.
Metropolis, is that what it's called?
Metropolis, yeah. Okay, well,
here
listen.
in Vancouver. I saw the movie here, and it was last Saturday.
Yeah.
And the projector did go out at the 3/4 mark.
See, that's terrible. You can't enjoy a huge spectacle like that.
A guy came in and he said, well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to have to rewind this. So they rewound it too far. So I had to watch more of the shitty movie a second time.
You're such a jerk.
And
okay,
so, you know
explain why it's shitty, all right? Let's go point by point. Why is it shitty? Tell us. Tell the world why you think
Why don't you tell me why you love it so much?
I love it because they took some risks with reimagining the origin.
Throw it back on me. I was really ready to say something.
All right, go ahead. Say it. Say why it's crappy. Go ahead.
Number 1, it violates the Thor rule, which is we must never spend more than 1/3 of any movie in the fictional other world.
First of all, that's a shitty rule because Thor is that's where Thor lives. We need to know who Thor is.
Are we going to just talk? Are you going to talk over me the whole time?
But I'm telling you that's a shitty Thor rule.
So spending all this shit time on shit Krypton, which could not be a more boring alien world.
Oh my God,
was so bone-numbingly dull.
When can I talk?
You can talk whenever. Go ahead. It got off to a shitty start.
What would they have done that would have made Krypton more fun for you? Did you like the ice world of Richard Donner's Krypton?
You know what? Take this alien being, get me down to Metropolis as soon as possible.
It's an origin story.
Get me down to Metropolis.
They had to define the character
again. I don't need
again.
to see Russell Crowe showing me that he can act. We know he can act.
He was great as Jor-El.
Oh, fuck
and
off.
Krypton had this fucking awesome...
This is worse than yesterday.
What?
This is turning out to be worse than yesterday.
Come on. We're being civil.
We spent way too much time in this alien world.
The alien world was beautifully rendered, and it really represented a nice look of what 1930s science fiction would look like in the comic books, and that's why I adored it. I loved the liquid, the silver metal kind of shaping imagery, and being able to use as sort of their telephone system and their storytelling device. I thought that was an incredible concept.
So you were engaged by this?
Absolutely. I was riveted by all of that production design, and I thought Russell Crowe was terrific as Jor-El. I loved Lara. I thought they had a really, truly impactful, emotional, opening there, and they have to give up their firstborn son. We're going to spoil the hell out of the movie if you haven't seen it yet, by the way. We should have told everybody that. But they have to give up their firstborn son, the first natural-born Kryptonian, to a sea of stars. They have no idea if their kid is going to survive, and they send them off into space. What a terrifying tragedy, and it was really well done. And I thought the introduction of Zod on Krypton, he's just a menace. He's just a singularly driven machine
singularly driven because he has one level to it.
Well, they tell you that every Kryptonian is designed. They've taken out all chance. They've taken out all fate. They've taken out all individuality.
For movie viewers, we need a little bit more from our villains than just this one note. Michael Shannon is a great actor.
Yes, he is.
Underused in this movie.
Well, he is utilized to serve the purpose
around
of the origin of Superman. And he is different than any Zod that we have seen, but he is truly evil. Because he is unwavering.
He tells us he's truly evil.
Well, he's unwavering in what he has to do, and yes, he does. He 100% telegraphs it, but it's what shapes Superman. The whole movie is what transitions this Kryptonian to becoming the Earth superhero we know as Superman. He has no name throughout this movie. He is becoming Superman. All of it, all 2.5 hours of this is the definition of who this character is. So even when it goes as dark as it does, even when buildings are crumbling all over Metropolis and it appears
even when everyone's running in front of green screens, yes.
Thousands of people are dying, and Superman is in this fist fight with these Kryptonians.
Which is super boring.
I thought it was amazing. And, visually, we've never seen anything done at that level of expertise with these superpowers before. I think it outdid the Hulk and Thor fight. I think it was cooler than the Chronicle fight.
At that point, everyone was asleep.
It's amazing. I don't know why they would be. I mean, there was stuff happening so fast in real time. You really get the power of the punches in this movie.
When you are a cape sniffer like you,
right?
You can't really even imagine how the rest of us can go through our lives without loving this stuff to the point of being blinded.
Well, I think there's a lot of people that are...
You are.
I think there's a lot of super fans that are... This is a polarizing movie. There's a lot of super fans that hate this movie because it goes so dark. And it was a shock to me.
Dark?
I mean, he kills Zod at the end. Huge spoiler.
Who cares?
And comic fans aren't used to seeing Superman in that dark. And
it's like a piece of styrofoam fighting another piece of styrofoam.
No,
they're
hardly.
Both so boring.
Hardly. Especially...
You know what? The Nolan movies of Batman fucking spoiled me because it gave me something that was rich and intelligent. It was this fucking onion where I kept peeling back more and more layers. It had news about the human condition, news about how we live and the times we live in. This movie is a fucking
That's
boring
the character
fantasy.
Of Superman.
He's
Superman
so boring.
is an
then
alien
he has
on
nothing
this
for
earth,
me anymore.
on this planet.
After 75 years, let him go. Let's stop trying to make Superman movies. We can't do it. We don't need him anymore.
He's the definition
of fucking boring.
Of our ideal, And he is personified in this film as a possible future for us in our desire to be completely encased in technology.
It's a boring future.
Well, it's a horrible future, yeah. Krypton goes through a terrible... I mean, we're facing the same kinds of, crazy end-of-the-world type scenarios that Krypton is.
There's no subtext here at all. You can if you're looking for it.
Of course, there is.
You can make a leap to get some, but
there's tons of subtext in this. This is a guy that has two fathers that tell him to aspire to be the best human that he can possibly be, the best person, the best link between two worlds, a dying world and a world that's on the on the precipice. and he has to challenge some rigid ideas of what Krypton means, and he has to challenge the hostility of a scared Earth population. And frankly, the movie does not have enough of the effervescence that we saw in Superman the movie, and I missed that. I also strongly feel that Amy Adams was terribly miscast in this movie. I think she's an awful choice for Lois Lane, and I think my biggest problem with the film. I love the movie, and I love the decisions in this movie, and I love the direction, and I love how much movie is in this thing. But my biggest problem is that Lois Lane is supposed to represent the romantic love that an alien would have with an Earthling. She's supposed to represent the ideal, the true romance of this character. And in Superman the movie, Margot Kidder and all of those beautiful scenes absolutely underlined that, did that beautifully and perfectly. In this movie, Lois Lane is a wallflower. She just seems like she's lucking out getting access to Clark Kent. The investigative digging that she does seems really superfluous and silly, and it seems like she's just put in scenes together with him because she's supposed to be there, not because she's earned her status there. And consequently, she undermines a lot of the value of the film and a lot of the human
it all
value.
on her, and it's not her. You really have to attribute some of the problems in this movie to Zack Snyder, to the editing job that was done. There were huge chunks of this movie where I was just so bored I didn't even care to try to figure out what was happening. No, listen to me. Where I was so bored that I couldn't even understand what was happening in the movie. There's that part in the ice, I don't know where it is, some polar ice cap, where she shows up and then she's climbing along the side of a mountain, which is obviously a green screen, and then they find a ship or something.
It's
I have
a
no
scout
idea.
Ship from Krypton.
I know you know this because you know the fucking mythology, but you know what? There's not 1 second in Batman Begins or The Dark Knight that needed to be fucking explained to me by
Batman's
you.
Not an alien. It's not a science fiction
story. It doesn't matter. It still should relate on a human level. This
is a science fiction story about an alien acclimating and becoming
a bunch of fucking nonsense made up.
It's mythology is what it is. It's ancient mythology at this point, and the story has been told and retold so many times. They had to take some creative risks.
What creative risks did they possibly take?
Well, they jumped all over the place in the time frame. They didn't shoot it risky. Like some Vaseline lensed, glossy, everything's glowy Smallville type. Classic Superman tale. They shot it almost like it was a docudrama or something like that with a single camera. They cut back and forth in time. There's flashback sequences in this thing.
It's not that risky.
I for a superhero movie, it was. It's because there is an expectation that
it's that qualifier
somewhat familiar of the character that we are going to be able to follow along. But
you need to say that. And you know what? If it was a great movie, you wouldn't need to say that.
It is a great movie.
It is not.
Absolutely.
You're going to watch it on Blu-ray years from now, and you're going to suddenly come to Jesus, and you're going to realize that you were wrong this time.
It's a great movie, and it's filled with really, really fun, fantastic work. I like Russell Crowe. I like Kevin Costner. I like Diane Lane. I think Cavill's a perfect choice for Superman. I thought Shannon was great as Zod. I liked Feyora. I liked Non. I liked the Smallville sequences. I wanted to see a little more fun. The pieces where Cavill's trying to fly for the first time, there should have been more scenes like that, and they should have had a different Lois Lane in this movie.
Oh my God.
I like Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White. He doesn't have a lot to do, but it's a good cast. You know who they should have cast as Lois Lane? He doesn't even know what
he's doing. He's running around. He's got buildings falling on. I don't even know what that was about.
Well,
it's all fan service is what it is. That's my big problem with it. It's for you, and it's not for the rest of us. I want to be included in this conversation,
right.
And this is an exclusionary experience. This is for you, obviously,
right,
and it's not for the rest of us, and that's okay.
I don't know, man. It did bang up business last weekend. We'll see how it does.
We'll
see. I mean, this will be the real tell. If it has a tail, and if people really like this movie.
People like you will see it twice,
dude. The cinema score coming out of it, and I hate to use these statistics, but the cinema score is judging audience reaction. Typical audience reaction got an A-, which is really good.
But the fact that you feel the need to invoke that right now tells me that you're insecure in your opinion of this. You are.
No, I'm not.
It's a bullshit movie.
I am countering your disappointment.
You're using cinema score.
Whatever.
I
really enjoyed it. I feel like it is a different interpretation of the character, and I loved the setup. I loved the effects for sure. I love the power that we see. I mean, we haven't seen a singular superhero with this much power.
Where's the fucking soul in this thing?
There's tons of soul.
There's
and
no
one of the
soul.
coolest things in this movie is every time Cavill has to reach up to the sun to feel the radiation come into his body, and you get that at that cellular level, you get the sense of...
You did.
Yeah, because I know a little something about this character, or a lot, but... and I think if anybody has even the gist,
I have the
iota,
gist.
they're going to have
still
fun
on
with
the
this.
outside looking in. I'm telling you, when the projector went off at the theater, half the theater got up and left to get their money back.
Wow.
They were done. They had seen enough. They were on the outside of this conversation. They wanted to be on the inside. They sat down excited. We were in the AVX theater. We all picked our seats. We pre-purchased our tickets.
I'm reading the tweets. I know a lot of my friends were disappointed. A lot of people were disgusted with the dark tone and wanted more joy out of this movie. I've heard the film described as joyless, and I get it. I understand all of that stuff. But what we got is a tragedy of the last son of a dying planet, and he becomes a savior on Earth.
Yeah, that sounds like a good movie. That's not the one that's on the screen.
And we got an action-packed movie
give me a
with
break.
A cool character, with a well-designed
poorly
mythology,
edited, poorly shot,
beautifully shot, and the editing was unique, which is what this franchise needs, because we've got too much of the same in this franchise. Listen, we've been running off Donner's fumes since '78. Every other iteration of Superman has been a reflection of that.
We don't need him anymore.
Yes,
we don't need Superman.
Well, clearly we do.
No, we don't.
They're fast-tracking the sequel, and I
That
can't wait to see where they go with this.
That does not make this a good movie, just because they're fast-tracking the sequel. The cinema score does not make this a good movie.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
So
you enjoyed it.
It was a good
Again,
movie
that's my
for me.
point over and over again.
And you didn't enjoy it, and that's my point.
We saw two very different movies.
Sure, you didn't like it.
That is the end of it.
And you're wrong.
We are out of time. That brings us to the end of today's yelling at each other.
So tune in next week when we yell at each other for, what do we yell at each other?
I'm not sure this was exactly a gift for listeners.
Yeah.
We intended it
Well,
to be.
listen, I want to hear what people have to say. Like last time, all we were able to do was blasted Dark Knight Rises because we agreed on it, and lots of people hated us for that. I want to hear what people have to say about Man of Steel. If you saw it, tell us what you think.
You're hanging all the problems in the movie on Amy Adams.
Amy Adams really was the weakest thing. I think of somebody like Aisha Tyler or somebody with like a real amazing energy, that we all would be completely bowled over by. Margot Kidder, you can say what you want, but her performance in Superman the movie was fantastic.
Being teased about this movie for a year, and I like Superman as a character.
Right.
I like his story. I've read I probably read more of the comics about Superman than I have of Batman.
Right.
And I went in and I had the highest of hopes. I wanted to feel a little tingle. I wanted to feel something.
I can't believe you hated Krypton. That was such a well-rendered, cool, different world.
And I was with the movie until about the halfway point, and then I realized this thing is spinning out of control. I was hoping with Cavill, with his hairy chest, that we were going to get a dirtier, more human Superman.
We do.
We don't.
We just don't get his...
We still get this guy who is lifeless, who is bloodless.
Foil. We don't get his compliments.
I want to see him with an erection.
Okay, you went to a different Superman.
But you know what I'm saying, though? I want to see like something different and real, and instead I just got the same bland, vanilla Superman.
When he is beating the shit out of Zod, and he's saying, "You dare threaten my mother?"
Yeah, I was half asleep at that point.
That was incredible.
Who cares?
All of that combat stuff. There was story in the fighting, which you don't normally get in this kind of stuff. You get that he is learning what to do. Okay, you're throwing the Pac-Man sound at me.
They're telling us we're out of time.
All right, we'll be back next week.
We're just making the same point. I'm just saying I wanted to really like this. I did, and I
feel terrible
like I've
that
let
you
you down. That I didn't like it.
Millions of people love it. Millions of people don't like it or hate it. And I think this is one of the most polarizing, divisive superhero movies ever made. And we'll see where they go from here.
You and your cinema score. Don't ever do that to me.
Cinema score A-. A lot of people love it.
Get out of here.
We'll see you next time at Vic's Basement.
So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening.